In this video, I'm gonna walk you through the Showit interface. So, to use Showit, you have to have a Chrome browser. So Showit won't work with any other browsers like Safari or Firefox. So if you're not using Chrome as a browser, then you have to install the browser first. So if you haven't watched the video, how to create an account with Showit or how to add a design, go back to the previous videos I have recorded for you. And this video is meant to show you how to navigate the interface of Showit website platform. So let's start. To be able to get to this view, you'll have to go to app.showit.com and log in. And then this is exactly the view that you are going to see. I'm just going to move this one right now, right here. So that looks better. So where should we start? I'll start with this name and then go up around and to that side. So in this name, this is where you can import a new design. And this is where you can manage your account as well, your subscription. If you want to subscribe, you can do it here and you can log out or anything. So basically that's the manage my account area. And then you get to a different screen, which is the previous screen like this. And to go back to that, you just have to either click this and you will be taken back to that. And you will be taken to this screen. Just a moment. And you will be taken to this screen. So if you see this view, it's to fix this one, you just either have to do this and put this, reset zoom or zoom out to give you that space, and this one. For me, I like to start with a one screen, which is the desktop in the beginning. So if you're bombarded with those kind of screens, just click on this show desktop and mobile, or you can do both as long as you do the zoom out here and it looks smaller. But for me, I like to design one screen at a time, which is the desktop first. So now let's head over to this side panel. In the side panel, this is where you get to see the site settings to configure your domain name and URLs. This is where you do that. This is also where you add a favicon on your website. This is the image that is sitting next to your domain name or your website URL. So if you put an image, that's the thing that will show next to your URL. And in the design settings, this is where all your brand settings will be plugged in. So that's your color palette. And for fonts, this is where you choose a Google font. This is what I love about Showit. The Google fonts are integrated, so you can just select any Google font. And for custom font, you just have to select it here, but you have to upload your custom font first. It has to be an extension of WOFF. I just say WOFF. And then you just have to click save it. So moving on to the library, this is where you will be uploading your branding assets, your media library, your images, and so on. So you can create a folder for each. So it could be your brand assets, and then image assets, stock images, all of that. So you can get them in an organized way. And moving on to pages. With pages, this is where you get to see all your pages. If you click over here, you can duplicate a page, you can delete it. And I'm going to show you. So if you click in here and click on the page, this is where you get to see all the sections and elements that are in this specific page. So this is the page name. So if you want to go to a different page name, you just have to, for this example, I'm going to duplicate that. So if I want to go to a different page, which is home one, I have to go to the page again to see what's inside that page. Moving on to blog templates, this is what you need to do if you have a blog. So you can create a new blog template. You can add something from the Showit library and just click on this. I'm just going to show you quickly. So this is how you can easily create a blog template from anywhere. And for site canvases, it is these are the canvases that you get to use over and over again. That's why there are site canvases, because when you make an edit on them, it means that you only edit one canvas and it applies to all the other pages. So in this instance, your header and footer for your website, it is important that, because these are the reusable canvases, that you get to apply for all the pages in your site. So you don't really want to make like 5 footers and you edit 5 of them. So that's the idea of a site canvas. So think of it as a global header and footer combination, or if you have like sign up sections or call to action sections that you want to create, you can also add them as a site canvas, like pop-ups, newsletter pop-ups, sign-ups, and all of that. So for example, let's go to home, and I have a freebie section area that I can just convert to a site canvas. So when I convert that, it looks like this with this screen. And when you go back to the site canvas, you can see it here. So this means that if I want to use this again in another page, for example, in here, all I have to do is add from, click on this thing and then the freebie section. No, it doesn't work like that. Sorry. So all I have to do is click add from library and click on the freebie section, and then just click to be able to add it on this new page, for example. So I hope I didn't lose you there, but that's the idea behind there. So I've explained site settings, design settings, media library, the pages, the blog, and site canvases on this panel. So let's move on to the page panel. So the page panel consists of, all of these are called sections, or I like to call them sections, but they're also canvases. In Showit, they're called canvas, or let's call them sections because I like to do sections in here. So with this mobile pop-up section, that is the thing that pops up on the mobile only. So this one. So if someone clicks on this one, that is the thing that gets triggered if this one shows up. So let's go back on the mobile version. So if I click on this section, it highlights what section this is. So this is the pain point section. If I click over here, this is the hero section, which means that inside the hero section, there is an arrow element. There is a text that shows up online. And there is a helping woman just like you online. So you get to see what is included in the hero section. In the hero section, the thing that it doesn't show in here is the background image. So the background image, this is when we have to look over to the side. This is the right panel. And in the right panel, it shows you how to adjust the elements in here. So if, for example, if this text, I want to adjust the size, this is where I will be adjusting them. And for the line height, if I want it bigger or 1, this is where I get to select also the font. If I wanted a different font, it's like this. So this is how you do it manually on this side. But in the design settings, this is where you can do a centralized changing or customization of the design. So for example, if you have a different branding, this is where you change them here. And this is where you select your brand fonts and all of that. But we'll get to that into a different topic. Right now, I am just going to explain the right panel. So moving on. So I am on the homepage and the hero section, for example. So right now, let's focus on one section. So right now on the right panel, the canvas view says something about the name of the canvas. Stacking order is all about layers of sections. So for example, this element is going to go up there. The reason why it is overlapping on there is because the stacking order of this canvas is higher. So it could be either one. So it's higher than this one. So for example, I put it to 1 or 2, and this one is just 1. This tells us that this section above is higher than this. So if you want to overlap items, that's the role of a stacking order. And the next thing I want to show you is these views. So this is how you can adjust the settings for each view. Is it a desktop view and a mobile view? So for example, the canvas type means a normal height would mean that this one is a 750 pixel in height. So I'm going to show you how that looks like. So when you click preview, this is what it looks like. I'm going to share this tab. So this is the 750 height. So it does not occupy the whole screen. But if you change into window height, that means it will occupy. Sorry. How do I go back to this? Share this tab instead. So when you go back to here and then click window height, it is going to occupy the whole top to bottom. So that's the idea of a window height. So from the top here to the bottom of any screen, of any desktop screen. So the last one is grow with content. So if you have a long content, this grow with content, it applies for long blog posts, for example. And that's the minimum height. That's the height in pixels for this canvas. This one is when you want to make a parallax or sticky or something. So if this is a sticky, this applies for navigations. For example, the top is if you want the menu to stay on top, stick to top. That's just how it is. So this one is if you want the stick to the bottom or top on scroll. It will only stick when it's on scroll. So I'm going to show you all of those later on when we get there, but we're still in the hero section. The canvas background is where you can change the image of the section background. So as you can see, you did not see the image right here because the image here is a background. So for example, I am going to change that into something like this and add an image instead. But I don't have any image right now. What I'm going to do is just Control Z and it's going to show again. But anyway, don't worry because we're going to get through all of those later on. So I'm just going to explain all the functionality on this on this right panel. So the image, so we're still on that canvas image and we're doing all the settings of this image. So did you want it contain or fill, and the position, did you want it top left and all of that. So it's up to you to do that. And the parallax means this is how it looks like. So a parallax is, it's an image that stays while the other elements go past it. So can you see that? It has that parallax effect. So if we change this parallax into scroll with page, this is how it behaves. So the image moves with the text. So the parallax, the image means stays the same while the other elements move while the other elements move past it. So yeah, so that's the parallax effect. So I'm just going to keep it to parallax. And this is where you can change the opacity. Opacity if you add an overlay. So if I want to add an overlay like this, it's going to look like this, for example. And if I want it yellow, this is what it looks like. So that's also, if you don't want an overlay, just keep it 100%, but I like using overlays so I could make the text more readable. So that's basically it. And the rest are animation. You don't need that. View, no, you don't need that. So scroll actions, not really. So for text, these are all the properties of text. This is where you can adjust all the properties. This is where you can tag each heading. So best practice is one H1 per page, and the other headings would be H2 for headings. So that's how you can. This helps with SEO, but we're gonna go through that again on the optimization topic. So on the size and the position is when you change it, it changes the positioning. So when you know when it's center, you'll see that purple line there. So there's also ways to make it find the center by using this and that. Right now, I'm just going to put it back. So I'm going to explain horizontal locking. So for example, this one is going to make this element stick to the left. So this is what it looks like. It won't be on the center anymore because it stays on this side. So for example, I want this to look like on this side, but I want it to stay on that side, for example. Then I just need to move them and the position to be stick to the left. And now suddenly this is what it looks like. See? It stays on the left. So the bigger this screen gets, so it also moves with the size of the screen. So, yep. Same is true with the other side if you want to stick them on the side. This one is when you want them to stretch on both sides. The vertical locking is something that shows up only when your canvas is set to window height. Remember that window height I told you, because it occupies the top and bottom of your screen. That means that you will get a vertical locking. You can stretch the element. This is good to use if you have an image, for example. We're gonna get there when we get to the image. So yeah, that is fun so far. Now let's move on to this canvas because I wanted to show you this horizontal locking for images. So for example, this one is like this right now, but I'm going to use a horizontal locking. So I'm just going to use that and you will see what that does. That means it is stuck. It's stuck to the left. And same is true with the other side. This one, if I do it like this, it's going to be stuck to the right. That's what it does. And with this, I'm going to show you what it does if I do that with this. So this is what it looks like. See, it stretched it. It stretched the image on to the side. So that means that if you have an image of you and you don't want to cut out your eyes or a particular side of your face, then I would not recommend using it. So we're just going to leave that like that. And where did we end up? So the click actions, let's have a look at the click action. So this is where all the settings go. So this is where if you add an image, it's going to show up on this area because it's not the background. So it's going to be an element that will show up on this side of your screen. And as you can see, this is where you can select a different photo by just clicking on that image. And make sure to rename your photos properly with your keywords and all of that, because that serves as your SEO title. I repeat again, your file name that you upload to Showit will become automatically the SEO title. So this is another way to optimize your images. Make them searchable by adding in your keywords in them, especially if it's your own photos that is related to what you do. But if it's an image that you randomly, a stock image that you randomly picked up somewhere, then just delete all of the SEO title. So yeah, and the size and position, I explained that. And the click actions, this is where you can, when someone clicks on an image, you can set the parameters and all of that. So yeah, you can play around with all of these later on. Don't be afraid to learn more about them and what's their functionality. I just want to show you these. So with a button is consists of a rectangle element. So it's just going to be like that element and a text. So, and to make sure that the arrangement, by the way, the arrangement of all the elements has meaning as well. So make sure that you arrange them by order. So the top always goes on top, for example, and for this one have to be at the bottom. Surface image. You know why? Because, for example, you have the button, CTA button. Make sure that the background is at the bottom of the text. So it's layering. So that's layering. The elements have layers by just positioning them within the canvas. So yeah. Anyway, for button, let me show you that click actions earlier. So with this button, you can select a page where you want to go to or a canvas within your website. So for example, learn more or get in touch. I'm going to click it to the canvas. So when I'm going to show you. So when someone clicks on that link, it redirects to a different canvas, for example. So again, for a button, for a click action of an element, you can control the linking. You can link it to a page, to a canvas, to a top of page, a social link, or anywhere. So yeah, it's that easy. And I'm just going to show you this area where now it's showing this, because when I edit this freebie area, right now I don't have other pages. So I'm just going to click it as a normal page canvas. So as you can see, this one, I'm just going to zoom it out. This is what it actually looks like. So when I zoom it out, okay, this is what it's like. So this is, when I double click it, this is a code that I have just embedded from my email marketing software. So if you have a MailChimp, MailAlert, or Flowdesk, you just get that code from your email marketing and then plug it in here and click save. And that's how you integrate the signups directly to your website, to your email marketing platform. Oh no, shit. Oh my goodness, what have I done? Oh my goodness. Okay, moving on. The next one I want to show you is the bottom toolbar. So the bottom toolbar, let's start with the name. With your name, this is where you can manage your accounts. If you are in trial version, you can subscribe now here. This is where you can add more designs. So if you are if you want to add a new design, click a library and just add a design key. This is best if you have sales page or add-on pages to upload. But if you're changing to a totally new design, just click on this, create a new design to be able to get all the pages. So just again, your designs and add new design to library and just plug in the share design key again. So this is where all those things happen. And the next one is if you want to have a double screen of the desktop view and the mobile view. But if you want just one at a time, you can just click on this. So as a designer, I like to work on one screen at a time. And this one is, it's more like a ruler. I don't really use this much. I don't think you're going to use it either, but this is what I like to use a lot. So that's how I get to view my design on a macro level. And this is how I zoom it. So yeah, there might be elements that looks broken right now, like this sign up thing, but don't worry, when you zoom it out, it's gonna be okay. So it's okay. So yeah, the fun part now that I wanted to show you is these ones. So these are, if you know Canva, this part is where your tools are. So if you need to add a text, I'm just gonna add a new blank canvas at the bottom. So just gonna make it a big one just for this example. I'm just gonna do a big one. So this one is when you can add the title, the heading. So see how I can just really move around in the canvas. So this is where you can add all these elements in your design. But you know, starting from scratch, you kind of like have to adjust them for the mobile as well. So you can see the mobile view is a bit weird, or it's different. So this is why starting with a template is really worth it. So anyway, let's move on to the next element. So this is where you can add rectangle, lines. What else can you add? Icon, embed code. Just like the embed codes are anything that you want to integrate to your Showit website, your email marketing platform, your even a Shopify shop link, you can embed it here, or a product link, you can add it here. What else? You can embed a video from your YouTube or Vimeo, or even Loom. I use Loom videos to embed on my website. I can add a gallery, and for the gallery properties, I just need to go to this side to be able to upload all those photos I need for the gallery. The next one is a social grid. This is something I love about this. So you see this element in here, this is a social grid. For this display, it just looks like this, but when you have an Instagram, that's how it looks like. So if you embed your Instagram here, if you click that, you just have to instantly connect your Instagram, sign in, and it automatically integrates. So what's this one? So media library is if you want to add a new image. So you just click this one and you can add an image from your media library. So this is the undo button, the redo button. And if you get stuck with Showit, Showit, they have help docs, they have chat support that you can easily rely on. So that's just about it. The interface of Showit platform. So far, I find it super intuitive. No need to figure out to learn columns and like what I used to learn in WordPress. Like I used to build based on the design, but building using the design is quite tricky with all those sections and columns. I'm always limited with columns, so I don't like that. I love Showit because of the design freedom it gives me. So yeah, I'll see you in the next module. The next module, we're gonna learn about pre-work, how you can organize your assets before uploading them to Showit. So see you next time.